First step is to mark targets on every part of the boat that's going to contact the cover. On this boat, we have the rub rail, we have the bottom edge of the cover, we have the rail around the bow, and we have the top of the cabin. And around the transom. Targets can be out of regular masking tape. Just if the target has a very flat angle, a vertical flag can be built to catch it from the bow or the stern. This boat is not marked for a Sunstream ABC cover, and if it was, the bottom of the cover would be probably halfway between the roller and the bow, fair along to be a few inches below the swim step. Next, determine where the laser point of view will be for the points. In this case, we're about 6 foot high in the bow, where we can visually see all of the bow and most of the side. The second point will be aft, where we can see the transom, and we'll try to get high elevation aft so we can get up on top of the enclosure. After you determine the points of view, you need to choose 3 reference points that are visible from all of the laser positions. In this case, point 1 is on the aft corner of the house, forward corner, and low on the hull. Because only half of the boat is measured, it is important to get good center lines. In this case, there's one at the tip of the bow. There's another some distance away on the keel. And using a tape measure, one was marked across the transom and flagged so it can be visible for the laser location. At this point, take pictures of the boat with the targets, so when the data is compiled in the computer, the CAD operator can reference the features, the accessories, and positions. First, take the Leica, and this is the fine adjustment attachment in the box. You pull out the bottom and it will screw in and click down to the magnet. When you power up the Leica, rolling. Ideally, you have your default set to this DXF mode, but if you first power it up and you see all the functions, you'll need to find the DXF with the multiple points, select, and either touch screen or select with the button. After selecting DXF, it will want you to level. That's confirming level, and it'll want you to rotate 90 degrees 2 times. You can follow the arrows. If you move too fast, you can overshoot it. There's the first 90 degrees, and it'll always prompt for a second. And once it accepts those 2, you'll be back into measurement mode. So we can see we're in DXF mode, and the P1 is for the first point. There's a maximum of 30 points. And remember to always start with your first 3 reference points on the boat. So before you take a measurement, if you turn on the camera with the blue camera button, you'll get feedback on the screen, and it'll allow you to find your target on the screen. When you're ready to take a point, you hit the red button, which will arm the laser, and you can find your target on the screen or even visually, and you can use the fine adjustments on the tripod to dial in accurately. This is most important on the 3 reference points. And then hit the red button to take the point. It will take a few seconds. Don't hit any buttons until it's recorded the point and moved on. Now you can move to the next point, hit the button to arm the laser, find your second point, and you can actually on the screen zoom in by touching the screen. So if it's quite a distance away, you can get very precise on the screen. Again, I'm using the fine adjustments to hit the center of my target, and using the red button to take the point. If there's some relative motion with the boat or the tripod, often it will hesitate and wait until it gets a good signal. Taking a number of points and you're ready to move to a new location, save with the save button and confirm. I've taken 4 points and I've saved them in that file. Now I can move the tripod to a new location and go back into DXF measure mode. And many times it will ask you to re-level. If it does, go through the same procedure of leveling and rotating 90 degrees twice. If it doesn't prompt you, then it still has its same level and it's acceptable. So to download the data, use a simple USB cable with a standard USB plug. Access the plug under the door, and this will plug in just like a thumb drive into any. And then on the screen it will come up with open folder to view files. And within the files, the DXF exports will show every data set you've taken. And within the data set, there's 3D files and the images. This happens to be of the wall that we just took. This entire data set can then be saved and then transferred to have the cover designed and manufactured.